Let's start with this weaker than expected GDP data that we saw this morning. What was your reaction to that?
Yeah, we weren't expecting a blowout number, but it was definitely a lot lower than we were expecting. So I think it does show the lag effect that is starting to be realized on higher interest rates. So we've been talking about higher interest rates now for, it feels like, over a year on a daily basis. And now I think it's hitting home builders, developers, consumers, and it's showing up in the numbers. So I think, when you correlate that to, foreign exchange, it probably, puts a lid on massive increases in the Canadian dollar. But more importantly, I would suspect the Canadian interest rate environment is going to flatline here, and they'll probably pause and watch the data for the next couple months, and we might be done the hikes. I'm not calling for major decreases in rates this year, but definitely it's positive if we're done the hiking path.
Okay, so a little bit more stability, perhaps. We have seen some volatility in the markets, a bit of a pullback as of late, but you're quite optimistic in stocks towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I think we'll get a good Q4. We're in this kind of a churning period here, July, August, September. The market's not super cheap generally, right? So price is not the factor here. I think what we're going to see is certain sectors play catch up, and really technology has been, and communications have been where everyone's made money this year. But I suspect you'll see healthcare and interest-sensitive names like utilities, REITs start to rebound at in Q4 and help bring the general market up with it.
With all that in mind, what would be your advice to investors?
Well, we're dividend investors at Middlefield, so taking that as a starting point, I think this is a really good time to be putting money into dividend-paying stocks. Inflation's coming down, interest rates over the next couple of years will moderate and probably come down, and that is really a tailwind for dividend-paying stocks that are increasing their dividend on a yearly basis. That helps you offset the inflation forces, but also gives you a really good entry point right now, because a lot of those names, I'll use utilities as an example, have performed quite poorly as rates were going up. So, this is a really good entry point for dividend investors right now.